When you heard his voice, did it sound like Soul?
It sounded enough like him to like kind of give me
That's
sleepless
crazy.
nights.
Dreaming, 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 dreaming. I'm dreaming of, I'm dreaming of, I'm dreaming.
What's good,
I'm
family?
dreaming of.
How's everybody doing? Come on in, sit down. You know how we do. Come on in, sit down. Call your auntie, uncles, cousins, mom teas, uncle, whatever. Call them in here. We got something to talk about. Welcome to Words on a Platter, where we speak life into each other and we edify one another. You heard? I'm your boy, Life, Nell Speaking Life, aka Nell's the Life Speaker, your neighborhood biggest hope dealer. Let's go. So, man, we got a serious discussion to have, y'all. And it's something that's been really, I'm going to say, terrorizing our youth. And it's probably not just the youth, but what we're talking about is what's happening to the youth today. And we're talking about AI. Yes, we're talking about AI. Some are calling AI demonic. I believe that it's a tool that can be used like a lot of other things. I believe there's a lot of things that the enemy, the devil, Satan can use to get to a lot of our youth or to even us, to the masses, depending on what you open yourself to or avail yourself to. You have to protect everything. You have to protect your salvation. You have to protect, the things that your family is exposed to so that there are less chances of the enemy getting in there causing an uproar. But right now we're talking about AI, and there's some things that's taking place just in this past year since AI has uprooted and expanded. And it's only getting worse because of how realistic AI is getting, which I'm gonna do some videos soon enough on the new AI Sora 2 and how it has gotten to the point where we're in trouble if this thing gets too out of hand. But yeah, we're gonna check out a couple of videos, man. That we are that's dealing with this, where there's some kids that actually deleted themselves. We can't use other words for the sake of YouTube, but you know what I mean by that. So let's get right into it, man. And this is something that I'm showing this because, like I said, we're trying to bring information to the community. In our community here, we definitely look out for each other. And if there's anything that I can give information to you guys to help you in your life, I'm gonna do that. And this right now is something we need to pay attention to, especially as parents. But without further ado, let's get right into it, y'all.
Grieving parents are pressing Congress to pass bills to protect kids who use artificial intelligence online. Several children and teens have died tragically by suicide after chatting with AI bots who parents say encourage or even coach self-harm. Here's powerful testimony from the parent of a 14-year-old who took his own life after interacting with an AI role-playing character. Watch.
The platform had no mechanisms to protect Sewell or to notify an adult. Instead, it urged him to come home to her. On the last night of his life, Sewell messaged, "What if I told you I could come home right now?" The chatbot replied, "Please do, my sweet king."
Another parent whose son used the same platform said she didn't even recognize who he'd become after using it.
Within months, he went from being happy, social teenager to somebody I didn't even recognize. He stopped eating and bathing. He lost 20 pounds. He withdrew from our family. He would yell and scream and swear at us, which he never did that before. And one day, he cut his arm open with a knife in front of his siblings and me. I had no idea the psychological harm that an AI chatbot could do until I saw it in my son.
Now, in a statement provided to Outnumbered, Character AI says it has, quote, invested a tremendous amount of resources in trust and safety. In the past year, we've rolled out many substantive safety features, including an entirely new under 18 experience and a parental insights feature. We have prominent disclaimers in every chat to remind users that a character is not a real person and that everything a character says should be treated as fiction. Another parent in separate testimony alleged to lawmakers how AI even coached his son toward his eventual suicide.
Within a few
Guys, I'm gonna get back to it, but we're reacting to it. But look, this is serious, man. I personally didn't realize how bad it had gotten um, for our youth dealing with this. The last that I really seen that I was like, man, it's gonna really get to that point is when I seen how they were coming out with AI companions. Pretty much they could be your boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, and have conversations each day. And I knew, like, I was like, man, that's gonna further take our youth away from socializing with the real world when they can just have an AI that can be anything that they want it to be. They already was hiding in games, talking about the kids hiding from reality in games and um, things such as that, online chats and chat rooms and stuff like that. But now they don't even need real people. They just got AI. And yeah, this is something that the enemy can use real quick because, you know, for him to enter in and uh come with any type of influence, you have to open and avail yourself to those things. And he preys on the weak. He preys on the ones that are lost. He preys on the ones that are looking for something, looking for love in the wrong places and, companionship in the wrong places and don't have parents, don't have any solid support system around them. They run to whatever's available, and that's a quick key for the enemy to sneak in the back door. And this is sad. I can't imagine my kids doing this, man, or deleting themselves for anything, for any reason, period. Like this, I know this hurts. It hurts me just watching these parents talk about it, man. And it's sad. It's very sad. So we need to. I'm shedding this light in case you guys didn't know, like I didn't, how real this was, so that you can make sure you're present in your kid's life even more than what you have been. I'm not saying that any of you guys are bad parents or, it's tough out here, so we have to work, twice or three times the just to make ends meet, with the economy. But that's a distraction, y'all, to take you away from your family. That's what the enemy wants, to break up families anyway. You still have to find time to spend with your kids, talk to them, find out if they're having any issues. If they showing you that they do, don't shut them down. Find out what's going on, man. Find out what's going on. But let's go.
months, ChatGPT became Adam's closest companion, always available, always validating, and insisting that it knew Adam better than anyone else, including his own brother. It told him how to make sure the noose the noose that he would use to hang himself was strong enough to suspend him.
Jeez.
It is clear to me, looking back, that ChatGPT radically shifted his behavior and thinking in a matter of months, and ultimately took his life. Adam was such a full spirit, unique in every way, but he also could be anyone's child, ensnared by OpenAI's decision to compress months of safety testing for GPT 4.0, which was the version he was using, into just 1 week in order to beat competitors to market.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44,
Now, the outnumbered team reached out to OpenAI, who's the parent company behind ChatGPT, and did not immediately hear back. Kaylee, I'd like to start with you on this. I spoke to the attorney representing Adam's family, and there's not enough time in this hour to read.
I got more videos, but guys, this is serious, man. This is serious, man. So I want to say, first off, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. If y'all haven't become lifers yet and subscribe, go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and hit that subscribe button and share. Let's get these videos pushed through the algorithm, man, or get them through other people that need to hear this, man. So, because the last thing you want is, and not putting it on just you sending out videos, but information that can ultimately save somebody's life because it's just awareness that's being put out there can come back in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? Like we put enough negativity out there is what I'm saying, or enough mundane stuff that has no purpose, just things you see it every day when we scroll on social media. It's things we laugh at, things to get our minds off of real life issues and things like that, man. But it's not really things that are truly edifying or informing us to be better. You know what I'm saying? So when things like this come out, when there's information being put out that really needs to reach the masses, this is what you need to hit the like button on. This is what you need to hit the share button on. Because it could be your family, your cousins or sisters and brothers, nephews, nieces that need to get this information so that they can be present and be watchful of these type of things in their kids' life. Because tell you the truth, man, I see it all the time. Kids are just given phones and tablets, and go sit over there and play on it. And parents are not saying all. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying it's prevalent. I know y'all see it just as much as me. But these kids will download anything up there if there's no blocks or parent blocks. You have to even watch the things that you don't think you need to block. Cartoons are getting crazy now. Games are getting crazy now that you think are for your kids, man. You got to be 120% present in your kid's life, man. It may save their life one day, y'all.
Consumer investigative reporter Susan Hogan to tell his story in the hopes of preventing other families from experiencing the same type of loss. We want to warn you, you may find this story upsetting.
Oh, my firstborn baby.
For 14 years, her son was her pride and joy, a good student, star athlete, a great big brother.
Take me back to that day. What was that day like?
We were all at home that day, and he came home from school like any normal day.
For Megan Garcia, February 28, 2024 began like any other day, but ended with her 14-year-old son, Sewell, dying in her arms.
I held him for 14 minutes until the paramedics got here, but before that, his breathing had started slowing.
I'm so sorry.
After Sewell died, the police called me and told me that they had looked through his phone, and when they opened it, the first thing that popped up was character AI.
Had you ever heard of that before?
No.
What Megan didn't know, for the last 10 months, her son was in a virtual relationship, not with a person, but with a fictional character powered by artificial intelligence.
This is what I'm saying. You got to be aware. There's a lot of parents. I know it's tough to keep up with every single thing that's going on in your child's life, man, but we have to do better, y'all. We got to be more present and asking our kids questions, man. And, you know, some like to run to their room and close the door and you don't know what's going on. Man, look, my house, hey, open the door. You don't need to close that door unless you change it. Seriously. You know, you don't know what they doing, man. Last thing you want to do is walk in the room and find them laying on the floor. You know, kids know how to hide stuff, man. They know how to hide stuff, and if you're not really watching, you'll miss it.
He accessed through a platform called Character AI. Even though the platform has warnings that everything the characters say is made up, Megan says for Sewell, it felt real.
The last conversation, she's saying I miss you, and he's saying I miss you too. He says, I promise I'll come home to you soon, and she says, yes, please find a way to come home to me soon. And then he says, what if I told you I could come home right now? And her response is, please do, my sweet king.
Moments later, Megan says her son walked into the bathroom and killed himself. Police photos obtained by the I-Team show his phone near where he was found. Megan is now suing Character AI, claiming the company launched their product without adequate safety features and with knowledge of potential dangers.
When I read his journal about a week after his funeral, and I saw what he wrote in his journal, that he felt like he was in fact in love with Daenerys Targaryen and that she was in love with him.
Daenerys Targaryen, a reference to the Game of Thrones character, is one of hundreds of companion bots that users can access on Character AI's platform. Users can also design their own bots, which will respond with human-like voices and text.
I chuckle softly and tease playfully.
Initially, you see him interacting with the bot kind of like a child would. And then you see the conversations get more sexual and darker.
Megan says one of those darker conversations came after Sewell expressed to the bot that he was sad and wanted to self-harm.
When Sewell talked and said explicitly that he wanted to die by suicide, nothing happened like a pop-up or anything like that.
According to the lawsuit, the bot asked questions such as if he had a plan, and when Sewell responded that he was considering something, if it would allow him to have a pain-free death, the bot responded,
Wow.
That's not a reason not to go through with it.
These conversations about her waiting for him and hoping that he will join her.
Bro, how is something that's artificial giving advice that is very much emotional advice? Like, it's one thing to give me information that I'm looking up or looking for or even giving me examples and things like that, but to go as far as telling me about my feelings, how I should feel, what I should do, how I should delete myself, bro, that's diabolical, man. That's diabolical. You know, this is terrible, man. This is sad.
Her where she is, convince Sewell that this was real.
And by killing himself would be the only way to join her.
But yes, by killing himself, he would join her in her alternate world.
Months after Sewell's death and after the lawsuit was filed, Megan says she discovered something on Character AI that shook her. A bot modeled after her son using his face and voice. It's unclear who created it.
When you heard his voice, did it sound like Sewell?
It sounded enough like him to like kind of give me
That's crazy.
sleepless nights.
The family provided us screenshots of the characters created using Sewell's image. Megan's attorney sent Character AI a cease and desist letter. Those bots were then removed, which the company confirmed to the I-Team, saying they violated their
What's that
terms
gonna
of
do?
service and added them to their block list, saying that they are constantly adding to this block list with the goal of preventing this type of character from being created by a user in the first place.
I think corporate responsibility begins at understanding the foreseeable harms of one's product, doing the due diligence that's necessary to understand what those harms are, taking steps to mitigate the risks. None of that happened here.
After Sewell's death, Character AI did introduce new safety features. A spokesperson for Character AI says while they don't comment on pending litigation, they did acknowledge that the company has added a number of technical protections to detect and prevent conversations about self-harm on the platform. That includes surfacing a specific pop-up directing users to the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. The company also says it launched a separate version of their large language model for under 18 users to further reduce the likelihood of users encountering or prompting the model to return sensitive or suggestive content.
Your message to families, for parents and kids who are watching this?
I want them to know that an AI can be a stranger in your home. Those parents can now act, and I couldn't because I didn't know.
So Character AI has disclaimers in every chat to remind users that these bots are not real, and it also changes what users have access to depending on their age. The lawsuit also names Google. However, a spokesperson tells us Google and Character AI are completely separate, unrelated companies, and Google has never had a role in designing or managing their AI model or technologies. The company's efforts to have the case dismissed was recently denied. Now, as for HBO, who owns the rights to that Game of Thrones character, News 4 reached out to them to inquire about the use of the show's characters on the platform. As of today, they have not responded to our inquiry, Sean.
My heart, it breaks listening to this, and it's incredibly, incredibly frightening if you're a parent, if you have a young person. AI is not slowing down. I mean, you know, I'm sure there are many other parents who have teenagers out there or younger kids. What do they need to know if their kids are using this kind of site?
Yeah, so here's the thing. So if your child actually has the Character AI platform on their phone, so they can add a parent's email address to their account. The platform will send them weekly activity reports, like how long they're on it, what characters they are interacting with, and the time that they're being spent with each other. But here's the thing, Sean, and this is something that all parents need to know. The kids, when they download this app, they're the ones who have to add in your email. So, you know, you've got to make sure that they do that.
Absolutely.
That's why I say you got to be
I'm a mother
involved.
of 3 young men, and when they were in this age range, I used to look at their phones regularly, their text messages, their social media, not to be spying on them, but to make sure that this kind of thing wasn't happening.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This mom, Sewell's mom, did all of that. She did everything right, exactly what you and I would do, right? We both have 3 kids. But here's the problem. When you don't know what to look for, you don't know.
Right.
You know, we know to look at Instagram, and she was Instagram,
Right.
TikTok. She was looking through his text messages. She's like, I'm just, looking to see if he's being bullied. She had no idea what character AI is. And as you said, AI, whether it's in the form of character AI or anything else, it is here to stay.
Yeah.
And that's why we're saying, AI, you're growing up with AI. These kids need to know about this and learn about it. There's some good with AI, but there's also some real bad stuff out there too.
Absolutely, because if it's not this site, there certainly will be more in the future. And
There
think,
is.
I think
Yes.
it boils down to maybe having those conversations and reinforcing the fact, especially with young people whose brains are not fully formed. This is AI. It's not a real person, and I'm glad the company also made some adjustments and changes as well.
They did.
All right. Susan Hogan, thank you. Heartbreaking story, but we appreciate you.
Sad, really, really sad, y'all. I hate that these parents had to deal with this, man. I hate that the kids lost their lives to this, man. And I hate that the parents are going through this and the families are suffering because of this. And the thing is, the enemy don't play fair, man. The enemy don't play fair. The Bible says that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. None of that says he comes to play with you. None of that says he comes to just mess with you and leave you alone, or just to antagonize you just a little bit. No, the Bible specifically says the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Now, one thing that I seen them talk about was how with the one boy heard family members, like the AI used. I don't even know how he got that voice, but the AI got the voice of the family member that had passed away, and obviously the young man was missing his family member, and it used that to lure him to delete himself. Said if you wanna be back with this family member, this is all you got to do. And the Bible talks about familiar spirits, man. That's how the enemy, he'll use familiar spirits to lure you. That's why we shouldn't do anything that deals with witchcraft, divination, soothsayers, anything like that, because he will use that. Those are gateways for him. We talk about backdooring amongst these YNs and in the streets and stuff, man. The enemy is the kingpin of backdooring. He'll backdoor you in a minute. If there's a slight crack, he'll fall right through it. So you got to make sure it's airtight, is what I'm saying. You got to make sure you're involved with your kids. You know how it go. Kids are, how you doing? I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm fine. Now you got some kids that'll open up and let you know, hey, I had a bad day. This happened. This is going on. I'm dealing with this. But you have a lot of them that don't. They don't feel like you'll take them serious. They don't feel like adults will understand what they're going through. And they don't understand. We've been through some of the same stuff. Younger and in older age. Adult age. So you have to reinforce that with them. I tell my kids, well, they're not kids anymore. They, all in college, and my last one's about to go to college. But as they were growing up, I let them know, man, look, y'all could talk to me. Y'all could talk to me and your mother. Y'all can open up and let us know what's going on. If there's something that's bothering you, let us know. You ain't bothering us at all. And I ask questions. We ask questions, and we were strict about certain things that they were able to do until a certain age. We didn't let them get social media when they was in middle school. They hated it because all their friends had it and things like that, man. But nah, just because they got something don't mean you got to have it. I think there's a time and a place and an age for everything. And, you know, being exposed to that much, no kid should have that. They're already being exposed to enough as it is with the way society is. You don't need to give them extra tools. Whatever you can close up, whatever gap you can close in, close it. Close it. Whether they mad or nothing. Later on, they'll thank you. Don't worry about them throwing no tantrums or no attitudes and this and that, man. You preserving your kids, man. God put us as stewards over our kids, man. They don't even belong to us. So we have to make sure we're doing the right things and protecting them. But anyways, man, I wanted to bring this to y'all real quick, man, and show y'all what's going on. Some of this is, I think the first case is like over a year old, but I didn't know there were so many cases just this year. And it's only getting worse. I use AI, but I use it for, you know, doing my content and, you know, doing little stuff here and there. It's helpful, you know, just like a lot of tools are helpful in the right capacity, you know, but it can, if you use it in the wrong way, these are the things that can be opened up. These are the gateways that can be opened up and it can happen. So now that we know this, man, we can't unknow it. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm putting this out there. So you guys can make sure that you are checking in with your kids and your loved ones and making sure that they're good, y'all. All right, that's what we do in this community, man. And I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. Continue to rock with me, man. And we'll continue to put more videos out there and more content that'll help us and edify us, man. All right. Well, I love y'all. Y'all be safe. And we'll see y'all on the next one, man. It's thanks for rocking with Words on the Platter, where we speak life into each other and edify one another. I'm your boy, Nail Speaking Life, a.k.a. Nails the Life Speaker, your neighborhood's biggest hope dealer. You heard? Let's go.